Pak, ada suaranya, Pak. Halo, Pak. Pak Didik, nggak ada suaranya? Kok nggak ada suaranya ya? Halo?
Ini, iya nih.
Ah, ya, ya, ya. Udah, Pak.
1, 2, 3. Oh ada nih. Sip.
Nah, ya.
Sambil menunggu ini barusan tadi Bu Dianita ini. Pak bisa kontak
Hmm,
Kak membina itu teman-teman Melipona untuk produksi lilin gitu ya. Katanya ada permintaan lilin katanya.
Melifera produksi
Ya,
lilin.
ya untuk produksi lilin. Tapi saya belum hubungi, saya ajak gabung sekalian ke belum datang.
Oh, bekas sayatannya gitu.
Iya, bukan saya tadi
Hmm.
untuk yang kemarin ada cerita ini. Jadi ada industri apa namanya kreatif yang mengembangkan dengan lilin bahannya, tapi maunya lilinnya lilin lokal, jangan lilin impor gitu. Kalau lilin impor kan
Oh,
banyak
oh,
produksinya. Salah satu
iya, iya.
potensinya. Oh ini udah gabung. Halo Thomas,
Hmm.
hai,
Hello.
nice to meet you.
Halo.
Nice to meet you, everybody.
It is
Wow. How many
already.
people do we have on this call?
Oh no, just some because it is the beginning. You want to know what's your program and you have been in the traveling to Piranha area.
Yes. Okay.
I've got contact with Professor Rika that she said that, oh yeah, he sent email to me, but because she is now preparing pilgrim Hajj to Mecca, that's maybe
Oh, yeah, yeah,
she
yeah.
busy.
I reached out to Professor Rika as well. Yeah. I got I
Is it okay? I
got
recording.
this.
I make recording
I
here. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, please.
Okay.
Absolutely. I got this
Okay.
okay.
Continue.
Thank you. I got this amazing email list from Dr. Cleo
Oh
in the
yes, right.
Philippines.
Yeah.
She is such an amazing person. She connected me to you. She connected me to people in Malaysia. And she connected
Ya.
me to Dr. Oravan in Thailand.
Yes,
I
right.
love her. She's a beautiful lady. She's connecting us to Stingless beekeeper in the hill tribes close to the Burmese border.
Oh
So
yeah.
there's a lot of interesting things happening, and I'm so honored that I have you on the call because you're a very important person in the Indonesian stingless bee space. So I'm talking to the right people.
We are in association, Indonesian Apiculture Association. Yes, already related to Cleo already sometimes because she managed the association also in the Philippines, also in Apimondia, chapter in Asia, and also Orawan in Thailand also. This is very common. The bees people connected each other. I introduced Mr. Kuntadi. Kuntadi already retired from the research center of the forestry, but
Okay.
he's active with our association because his experience about the bees and the beekeeping. Pak Kuntadi, please introduce yourself.
Hai, Thomas.
Hello.
Nice to meet
Hello.
you.
Nice to meet
Yeah,
you too.
my name is Kuntadi. You can call me Kun, just Kun. It's a short
Kun.
name.
Kun.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay,
used to
Kun.
work with uh, honeybees, especially in the genus Apis,
Yeah.
including Melipera, Serrana, and sometimes also Dorsata. Yeah, I retired about maybe 8 years ago. So
Okay.
so now I join with Pak Didi in the organization of API, Apiculture Society of Indonesia. That's all.
How how is retirement working out for you? Because
well,
you look way too young. I don't think you should be retired yet, sir.
it's all right. No.
Yeah. Wow, 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 wow. I can imagine, Gun, that you're now more busy than when you worked for somebody, no? Now with your being part of the organization, you have a lot of things to do, no?
Yep.
Yes,
That's
right.
good.
Right.
And please, your experience is very interesting to us to know about it. And you are a photographer before, and today you're interested to Melipona. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, what happened is Didik, to make a very long story short, I'm in my mid-50s, so for the last 30 years, I was a war photographer. I photographed mostly war situation all over the world, and one good friend of mine was a very, very famous Brazilian photographer. His name is Sebastian Salgado. He just died last year, and he was a big influence in my life. And I will send you, I make a note here, I will send you a link to his project. So Sebastian Salgado, 25 years ago, he started a project called Instituto Terra, like the Earth Institute in Brazil with his wife. And what he did, Didik, is he went back to the farm of his father. And because the farm was for many, many years mismanaged, and there was a drought, and people cut down a lot of trees. So the farm, which he took over 25 years ago, had no trees, no water, no cattle, nothing. And within the last 25 years, him and his wife, they planted over 5 million trees, and they created the research facility, which is one of the most fascinating places in the world, which is called Instituto Terra. And 2.5 years ago, my wife and I, we were invited to Brazil because the Sebastian, my friend, he retired, like you guys. He retired, and his son Giuliano, which is a good friend of mine, became the president of Instituto Terra, and that somehow created this chain reaction in my life. I really became very, very involved. Me and my partner, my wife and I, became very involved in sustainability, in climate change, in reforestation. And like a half a year later, we were invited. I'm working with the Swiss government on an initiative called the Swiss Next, and we have in Brazil, where me and my wife spend a lot of time in. We have an initiative called Nextbio Amazonia, which is within the Amazonian rainforest bioeconomy, where like young startups from Switzerland and Brazil, they work together in a three-week hands-on workshop. We did that. We got invited to observe that like 2 years ago, and during that workshop, we became friends with a Swiss co-founder of a Melipona startup in Manaus called Amazomel. And that's when we really started to be very intrigued and fascinated by the impact stingless beekeepers have in the Amazonian rainforest, you know. So we spend a lot of time traveling and educating and building meliponarios, like what you saw in my email. And during that time, during that journey, we somehow realized that stingless beekeepers and stingless, like a Melipona honey, is not only being produced in Latin America, but all over the world. So I became very intrigued to meet people in Africa and to meet people in Southeast Asia. So that's how I reached out to Dr. Cleo. And here we are. So Melipona World, our nonprofit, is a very young, it's a very baby step infant company. But what happened what is really, really beautiful, Didik, is that in the last few weeks, we were very, very successful in networking, in meeting people like you and people all over the world. So what we did as our strategy moving forward is we divided the world in like 3 continents, in 3 places. One is Latin America, and in Latin America we have Peru, we have Mexico, we have Brazil, and we have Colombia. These are like the 4 main stingless honeybee Melipona producers. And some of them, like Brazil, as you know, is very advanced. They're like doing really amazing stuff. Then in Africa, we decided to work with the country of Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, and Ghana. These are like 4 interesting places where people also deal with Melipona culture. I think that most likely I would say that Tanzania is really spearheading, like in a very visionary kind of way. There's a couple in Tanzania, a woman from Germany. Her name is Katrin Krause. She's an entomologist, and she and her partner, they create an amazing project there. Moving on to Southeast Asia, we decided that Southeast Asia is probably the biggest and most complex place, because like you could include Oceania, with which is like northern Australia, southern China, and India. But for the time being, to kind of just make it not too difficult, we decided to deal only with Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines. These are like my 4 countries where I'm building agency, where I'm building connections, like with people like you, educators, scientists, academia, very important, and of course, beekeeping farmers. So this is kind of like where we are. Last but not least, and I'm going to send you guys some more information on that, because I created a little PDF explainer. On May 20th, we have World Bee Day, which you are also celebrating. Exactly. I have next, I think Wednesday or Thursday, I send an email to the United Nations, to the FAO department, and these people are in charge of kind of like promoting World Bee Day. They always do a lot of activities around it, and I emailed them and I made them feel very uncomfortable that they're so ignorant and not including stingless bees, as pollinators in the messaging. So they felt very bad, and they're like, okay, we need to do something about that. So we're going to be talking about how we can all work together to use World Bee Day to promote very much the stingless bee pollinators. And in order to do that, I decided, me and my wife, we had this idea. We're going to do a video. We're going to do like a 1-minute video where we introduce beekeepers and academia from all these 12 countries. We're going to have like 30, 40 individual beekeepers and Dr. Cleo and you and all these people. They're going to say something into the camera. They're gonna showcase the stingless bees and their farms and their work environment. And then we're gonna cut it together very, very short, very quickly, with music and text. And we're going to this like 1 or 1.5 minute video which we're producing, which is then going to be hopefully shown by. My goal is, Didik, that this video we're doing has to be seen by 1 million people on World Stingless Bee Day. We're gonna show it. We're gonna share it with like the Washington Post and the Guardian, Greenpeace, and a lot of nature outfits. And everybody else, of course, which is participating, also should promote the video, which is promoting Melipona World, but like then, as the title of this nonprofit says, we are all Melipona World. Like everybody is a part of the Stingless Bee world, which you are part of, and I wanna use our nonprofit, our like as a kind of like an infrastructure building. Like I wanna connect. I feel my research taught me that there is so much amazing things going on. There's like things happening in Thailand, things happening in Indonesia, Malaysia, and Tanzania is doing great stuff. But it's all very fragmented, you know, like
Yep.
people, they have some exchanges, but it's mostly within Asia or Southeast Asia. I don't think you spend a lot of time Gun, you don't spend a lot of time talking to beekeepers in Brazil or in Africa. You know, I think it's too far away. There's no connections. You have your own challenges and problems and all of that. And I wanna bridge this gap. I want to bring everything into one like kind of like umbrella organization, so that we also can, you know, like there's a lot of challenges. I think Melipona honey is such a great product, but like it has challenges in terms of there's like no codex, you know, like what we have, the Codex
Yeah.
Alimentarius with Apis honey, which we, you know, like consume by the millions of gallons in Europe and in America, where I am at the moment. So I want to help facilitate that. I feel that my point of view is, but this is just my point of view, and I'm here learning and talking to people on a daily basis. I feel that in order to push verification and certification of any products you do, and they're like so different in Africa than like in Southeast Asia, we need to come up with a codex. We need to come up with a verification process that you can then ultimately. My goal is to help individual beekeepers and farmers and producers to export their product to the United States and to be able to become part of the European market. You know, I mean, well, sorry, when you see, Gun, how much, let's say, Manuka honey is being sold here in the United States, you get a heart attack. I mean, a little jar of Manuka honey is like $80 US dollars. You know, let's say like 150 milligram of Manuka honey is $80. And if you're once in a situation to have the best laboratories in Switzerland and the United States to verify and to examine Melipona honey, then the whole world is going to know that Melipona honey is much better than Manuka honey, you know, on so many levels, I think. So these are some of the ideas I have. And in order to make all of this happening, I need the help. I need to network. I need to collaborate and gain the trust of the people who, like you guys, you work in the field. You have dozens of years of experiences. You know what you're talking about. And I want to learn and understand your knowledge to a point in order to connect it to the agricultural departments of countries to start getting funding, which is very much needed, so that we can have more education and workshops and bring academia to pollinators and bee farmers and all of that. I mean, you know, so that is where I'm coming from. That is who I am, and that is what Melipona World wants to kind of like do in a nutshell.
That's fantastic. Yeah, and Melipona in Indonesia maybe just 10 years maybe people paid attention about the Melipona. But before we have Abis Dursata that's purchased a lot of honey, Abis Melipera. Also because of the international, maybe social media put attention more about many activities the people outside the countries that you understood. Melipona have also challenges. In the beginning, people, oh no, just a little honey. Just maybe put 1 kilo comparing with 100 kilo like that one. But it is also invite the scientists to go through and have the experience how amazing the Melipona honey and also propolis from the Melipona.
Yeah,
Now Indonesia
yeah.
started to have industry of the propolis based on Melipona. It's very interesting. And also when we have the meeting, international meeting, also the standards always connect to Apis mellifera. And the people with Melipona very what call it, maybe look like angry because well, we are pushed away from the standard. And
You're
when we
left out. Yeah, you're totally left out of the conversation, Dirk, and we need to change that. I feel that we need to find a way of getting
Yeah.
organized as a group so that we have to really push whoever we need to push in order to get these standards updated so that we can sit at the table with Apis honey producers
yes,
and
sir.
have the same benefits and possibilities.
Yeah, as many also some sugar inside in the honey. It is very different apis from the apis and the melipona. And now the scientists working a lot about that and want to prove that it is maybe we can say better, but it is also need the approval with the science base, and it's more activities need to in the future. And
Absolutely.
some of the species is in Indonesia, it is very demanding, and the others is maybe less.
What do you
Walaupun
mean? Can you explain that? Can you explain that when you say demanding? Like you talk about specific bee species.
because the high production of the species, like Heterotricona itama, Geniotricona thoracica, like that one. But it is also the others also benefiting to the environment on the pollination, but we have maybe little bit attention about that, and we need also to prove the base of the science. Pak Kun, you can say something?
Yeah, I really appreciate with your work on Melipona world. I think it's
Thank
good
you.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even right now, we don't have a international standard for Melipona honey and etc., including propolis maybe and others. So I think it's good idea. We have to develop more there.
What are you, Gun and Didik? What are your biggest challenges right now? If you just if you just share with me, because every country, every continent has different challenges in terms of like where we could have the biggest impact if we address them and if we change them. What are some of the challenges in Indonesia?
Yeah, I think how to select the species that we want to cultivate, because in Indonesia we have around 46 species of Stingless bees, but maybe only 5 or 6 species that already cultivated by people in the villages. I know that in South America is about around hundreds maybe species, but I think they only have some species, maybe not more than 10 species that they cultivated, and
Exactly.
some species in Indonesia, the honey production is very very sour. I don't know in South America. So that
Yeah.
sometimes it's maybe problem for stomach release or something like that. But some of them is as sweet as mellifera honey.
Are you
That's all
work?
I.
Are you working? Are you working with science on that, guys? Like when you say like the challenge is like to find out which one of this 46 species will be the ones which are really worthwhile to cultivate and to scale and to really breed in a way because of like the structure, like the usefulness and the honey product itself. Like, are you doing this by trial and error and just like find out like the hard way, or are you guys specifically like do you have like some academic and scientific connections with people who could guide you and help you and work with you on in this process?
Yeah, some researchers are doing that, but mostly I think for the villager, they do trial and error, and it's depend on specific places in Indonesia. Some like
Right, right.
in Sumatra, mostly is Itama, Heterocorona
Mm-hmm.
Itama, and in South
Mm-hmm.
Sulawesi and mostly in Sulawesi, Celebes,
Mm-hmm.
mostly is what we
Insisa.
call it, Pak Didik,
Insisa.
in Insisa and Biroi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tetragonula
Mm-hmm.
biroi, and in
Mm-hmm.
Java, mostly is Tetragonula laevisap.
Lapisat.
That the yeah, that the
Mm-hmm.
honey production
It's very small.
very sour.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
From
Interesting.
my opinion, our organization is some of the members as a scientist, also the lecturer in the university.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They work with the special case in Melipona, like in
Mm-hmm.
the honey and honey is what the content of the honey from Melipona, and proposing also for the standard in Indonesian level, but still looking at the new standard because to differentiate with the apis. Like now we have Tiri Halosa and promoting another one, but still in the proposal, maybe will be submitting to the government to have the funding. And also some of the scientists working for the species analysis, how many species, the new one, and also if when they are coming to the people, because the government today that's the different before, the demanding is mean people want to have the extra uh, extra money, maybe extra money from the bees is coming from the stingless bees. It is very easy and not so put money inside, but just how to manage it and put in the garden, also in the feed. Maybe once week or 2 weeks, just uh, inspecting it is going well or not.
Right.
Also, some
Yeah.
areas want to copy and to start the activities. The challenge is one because when they have the producing the honey in the small scale, in the beginning maybe the price of the honey quite high comparing with the industrial. But when they produce a lot of the honey from the colonies, maybe the price maybe can many honey sales with the reasonable price. But we want to invite all the people to make maybe if you have the standards, why it is the price low, the price high, maybe some inside of the honey maybe can benefit for the head, and it is proved by the science. And now some people working this one, maybe in Indonesia, maybe 10 scientists working with that one, but they won't invite also to the other scientists where the relevance not the bees, but they have maybe the background with the semestry biochemistry like that one. they invited to join together the head, maybe like that one. And we have the scientists also working with the propolis. And in the beginning, propolis from the stingless bees, not easy to introduce the people, and also not easy to introduce to comparing the propolis production from the apis mellifera that's going in from the abroad. But in today, because more people are working in the research of the propolis and how the benefit also impact to the villages, then people know when it is buying the local propolis can help also the local villages here. And today we started to some people export to Europe, but not directly to Europe, but of Singapore, because Singapore have the capabilities networking for the marketing. They want to test the product from our production for Indonesia. It is the scientists said that mango can produce a special taste of the propolis, mangifrin. And it is challenges also in Indonesia, some plant, some vegetation producing the resin that's very good and very specific attention for the head, like apa namanya mangustin.
Okay.
Yeah, mangustin is also very challenging to have a progress on mangustin, and also in North Sumatra. Apa Pak Gun? Sumatera itu?
Forgot.
Yang harum itu?
Ya. Kemenyan.
Kemenyan ya.
I don't know the English.
In English. This is very challenging.
Okay.
Indonesia is very because of the tropical area. There is the biodiversity is very high. It's mean can offer the challenge to make more opportunities. What's substance from the species, the vegetation contribute on the maybe the honey, probably the propolis. It is challenge also for us in the future.
Let me ask you something. So how, in terms of verification and certification, the honey being produced right now, the stingless bee honey being produced right now in Indonesia, how is this being sold? Can you sell it to stores like supermarket, or like do you only can sell it in like bazaars, or like fairs, or are there like online shops people sell their honey, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's also already done for the beekeepers by supermarket, the retail, for the direct consumer, also marketplaces also did that. But when it is the numbers of the colonies is still small, maybe not so many honey production, it is okay maybe. But when somebody or the group producing the honey, let's say like in Belitung, we have one group producing about 3 to 6 tons of the stingless honey. They said it's not easy to sell it because the production is the volume is really high, and it is fortunate they have the people from the outside, like in Malaysia, in Singapore, come in and want to buy it, and also now we have the transaction everyone. And some areas there's also some tourists come in, like from Japan to Bali, and the Balinese beekeepers have Melipona honey, and some the honey boards and bring it back to Japan and test in the laboratory, and they said that's okay. Then they want to start selling the honey from the Balinese Melipona to Japan.
How does the export work? Like when people come, do they just buy a little bit like tourists and they put it in their luggage and they go through customs, or like can you what you produce actually export? You know, like what I mean? Like where do you stand with the whole verification process?
The verification process now not yet established, but people also in the custom. Oh yeah, this is honey. Oh, this one. But in the future, we have also to make standardize the how to make people trust from the production, because it is very easy to make a fraud, and we will put the standard how to evaluate, and how is the university can control also when the beekeepers in some areas where want to produce the honey. It is the challenge of our organization for the association, but for the government, the local government, they want to introduce the creative business for the people. This the Melipona, it's a simple thing, but it's need to be careful to select the bees, the best species, to select the vegetation like that one, and also how to educate the people, how to keep people away from the fraudulent like that one. But still not yet established.
So there's no framework, I mean, which means that there's a high possibility that people sell fraudulent Melipona honey. That is what they're selling.
Standard for Indonesian honey standards also already established, but it is SNI, Standard National Indonesian Standard National. It is look like codex, look like from the Apis honey, but with the special, maybe like the water content should be less than 27 for the Apis mellifera 21, and also the diastase, this very different. And then the last one is Trehalulus. And now today, when the scientists and engineers in Indonesia, they apply for another one.
Interesting. Is 26 is Melipona honey.
Bakun with something?
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
No, I was just.
Yeah, Trehalulose is a sugar, a kind of sugar like sucrose, but it's only produced by Stingless Bees. So that's why we put as a criteria for specific standard. I don't know in elsewhere. I think Malaysia has not yet put the Trehalulose as standard. Even in South America, also it's a new standard. So maybe they also don't have the standard for Trehalulose. That maybe it's only Indonesia. I don't know.
That is definitely an interesting thing to check. But I think there's a lot of things you guys have been telling me, which makes me totally understand that like what Melipona World wants to do is super important, because like we could create all these like layers of communication, like not only an exchange. So the other day I was talking to my friend Leo, and he's a beekeeper in the Philippines. But he has this huge problem with like a pest. He has like a beetle infesting his in his beehives, and there's like scientists helping him out or like whatever. But also in this field, in like prevention and education, all of that, there's like very little in terms of database and knowledge exchange, which could help people, to prevent it and to learn from it. So like there's a lot of good, I think, Melipona world could do in these regards.
Yes, right. The pest is also the problem here, but some areas can solve easily, and it is assisted by the scientists from the BRIN. BRIN is Indonesian Research Center, and also in the Nusa Tenggara Barat, West Nusa Tenggara. Also already maybe from Tetragonulavisep about 200,000 colonies already established there. From nothing to be now is very lovely. People having the bees for income generation for the families. It is inviting also the economic generation, also the restoration of the environment, because very drought, and now people have to keep the vegetation. And when you want to have the honey, you must plant some vegetation, and that's already established. But in maybe about 5 years, it's already happening that the pest coming in and people suffer about that. We still arrange to evaluate that one and assisting people to come up with the problem. And the second thing is the migration by people to bring the species from island to island. This is also, we have less constant standard to keep away, maybe how to keep the local species in the system species. But for the business, people said, oh, you are not fair, because we want to have the better one in honey production. We have the challenge to discuss about this one, how to satisfy for the conservation, because when we collected from the wide area, we will reduce the opportunity and contributing the species to the food chain in the area, like for the pollination, white pollination, that one. It is challenge to us, and how to propagate easily, because the challenge is when the people having the colonies, we have to start to practicing to propagate by made by themselves, not just collecting, just cutting down the trees from the forest. It is not good to our environment. And maybe some days we want to introduce or to invite the people when they got maybe propagating the colonies, how many percentage that colonies could be bring back to the forest to make stabilize in the environment like that one.
What is are you feeling the impacts of global warming, of climate change? How is that in your part of the world?
Pagon?
In the I'm sorry? No, I said.
Yeah. Pagon can when Pagon can.
I'm not sure. I think global warming is very, very, very interesting one, because it's affecting all the honey production, not only Stingless bees, but also to the other apis like Apis mellifera. Yeah.
But this is not a topic, because like in Latin America, especially in Brazil, with climate change and droughts and stuff, global warming really has become like an issue, like pests or like whatever are issues in other stingless honeybee producing countries. But so you say, like, for right now there is not like global warming and the impact it has. Is it a discussion? Do people have like meetings with academia about it? Are like, is the government aware, or are there other more pressing issues?
Yeah, not yet released for that activity. In relation, people talking about in relation with the global issue, global warming with the stingless bees, because maybe the stingless bees right now only maybe 10 years, maybe look like 10 years. We addressing on the honey production and addressing on the government to pay more attention, because now not easy to have Abyss mellifera, Abyss serrana, because the global warming issue. But for the stingless bees can adapt, because no need for the big area for the blooming season, the blooming. But for the Melipona, for the stingless bees, we can just put in the garden, in the small area. The people are raising some colonies less than 10, maybe just having the. But when we saw the reducing the source of the honey source, or the plant of honey source, the pollen source, it may we can say the impact for the potential, because we never have the experience with that species of the vegetation producing the honey and the distribution of that one. But because of the global warming, the vegetation may be lesser and lesser and not available, and we have the opportunity to have the maybe some beneficial from this one.
So there is a conversation that's interesting. That's interesting. How like your organization, Didik, like how closely do you work? You mentioned before, or like Kun mentioned before, that some people in your organization are like scientists. So there is an exchange. You're not like doing all the things you do by trial and error. You have like academia and scientific support in a way.
Yeah, that's right. We have also a regular meeting for celebrating what we did in 20th of May, but maybe before 20th May, or maybe after that one. Today we have in 18 June in Indonesia, because we have hosts in the universities. We offering the event and universities that have the experience, exchanging also the people to come in. Today we have together exchange with hosting activity with University of Lampung in Sumatra, and over there it is many people working with the stingless bees. It's very fantastic. And also, when we have the problem from the faith, we discussing the people and exchanging the challenging how people have maybe like what kind of how to sell it, how to keep the trustworthy to the people, how to increase the quality like that one. And now scientists working with that one. And when scientists come in, they exchanging the conversation and taking the collection and start to have the research with his or her relation in the background of the science. It is now we have also challenge to have the production from the propolis. The first in the beginning working with the research people, and the research also now they have their own industries to collect the propolis, the resin from the feed and processing and produce the propolis. And when it is like the honey is very simple. No need the high mechanism for the processing, and we exchange how the people to understand how to control the water content that one, and how to stabilize the quality. But it is also still not very broad, because the Melipona, the challenges is a very wide area can be cultivated. From the Apis mellifera, the spot, what's the area Apis dorsata also, but the Apis, the Melipona, everywhere can cultivate the Melipona. That when we can verify how to know that's benefiting the product and to promote to the people. And also we introduce from the local people, like women and actually pregnant women, to start having the honey intake to prevent the anemia, and also to promote it is better to the pregnant women to consume the honey. And also, some areas like in Bandung is very successful, then we want to escalate also. And the villagers also happy because they can contribute not only for the family but for the community also.
Sure. Absolutely. So I want to do this video, and I'm looking for a few people who, with your help, hopefully, which could somehow represent what is going on in Indonesia right now. Like for me, for me, I always try to be like very mindful to this. Like like there's like places like in Peru and Colombia, where you have a lot of women being involved in Melipona culture since thousands and thousands of years, like almost like a shaman, like very ritualistic, like medicinal and stuff. How are women involved in Indonesia in this whole process? Is it mostly a man's world when it comes to academia and
this is a funny stories in Nusa Tenggara Barat, when it is challenged to the student from the lecture to promote the Melipona in the village. When the student coming in the village, the very drought area and the lowest income from the village, and it is not easy to introduce the Melipona to the men. But he said that I started to introduce the Melipona in the children, introducing how to drown the bees, how to invite people come in to plant maybe the flowers. Then after that, when the children come in and assisting by the mother, and just introduce the program to the woman. And when it's also introducing with the Melipona, producing to keep some of the colonies and producing the honey, that introduce also the husband and the man. And today the men involved together. It's very interesting.
It is very interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. How could we? I have I need to send video clips to my editor friend in Los Angeles in 10 days. How could we make this happening? I want to send you a little email later on tonight after I finished my dinner, where I kind of like outline a little bit like the idea of the video, and I have some instruction in English like in a PDF, which is very, very, very simple how to do it. You know, like we can do it all through WhatsApp or whatever is easiest. But like, would you be able to help us to find like you know, like children whose parents are beekeepers, you know, like a farm. I want to kind of like represent Indonesia like in all its splendor.
Is that should be in English or?
You can no the instruction will be in English, but like if you tell me what language it needs to be translated in, then I can translate the instruction in any language. But the people when they are in front of the video, which is like their camera phone, it's like, you know, like it's just they have to speak they can speak in their like mother tongue, you know. We can we can translate it and subtitle it. The idea is to bring as many people together from all over the world to make them understand that Melipona world is not like Brazil or Indonesia. It's like the whole globe. So people are going to speak very different languages, of course.
Yeah.
We have many challenges. We have many challenges that you want maybe the suggested. First, we have the family, this raising the bees and also starting with the Melipona. The children and the wife and in the beginning, he's a bus driver, and he want to stop to be bus driver and started to have the bees, and also preparing the land area to plan of the bee source, honey source. And now today he have the vegetation, the colonies also from the Melipona. The children now as junior high school and also in the beginning of the maybe preschool. They also introduce and maybe sometime put in the video to tell how the children are telling that. The second maybe maybe that I said, I told you the student, and today he's maybe one of the person sitting in the villages and working with the bees in Nusa Tenggara Barat. And the others maybe today he has about 6,000 of Itama in Belitung. And the last one maybe in North Sumatra, they're producing the propolis from Quinotricuna thoracica. What's your prefer to have it? Just once?
I think I really would like to have you make this decision for me. It has to be very visual. It has to be like whenever I visit stingless bee farmers in the Amazon, there's like this like magical, you know, this magical energy, you know, like it's always very like sunny and tropic, and there's like children around, and because it is stingless bees, nobody's afraid, you know. We don't have to wear covers or anything. It's like all like open air. And I always feel it's like very much like a family business, a family tradition, you know, like everybody helped in the process. So, you know, I would like to find somebody who could like where all of this is kind of being visualized, you know, like, and it doesn't have to be the most successful or rich setup. It can be like very basic. It's just like very like, because, you know, like a lot of, I mean, the reality is a lot of stingless bee farmers, at least in Africa or in Brazil, they're very poor people. They're struggling, you know. They're starting with stingless bees to supplement their income and all of that. And I want to show this. I don't want to, as we say in English, I don't want to sugarcoat this, Didik. You know, I want to share the reality in order for us to, you know, also are going to be able to help fundraising like projects and initiatives in all over the places. So we don't want to create a fantasy which doesn't exist. I want this to be very realistic, you know. It's very important.
How long for the video?
Well, the video, that's the thing. The video is we're going to introduce on World Stingless Bee Day. is only going to be between a minute or 2 minutes. So the intervals are going to be very, very short. It's going to be a lot of people from all over the world. It's going to be very energetic. It's not like long 5-minute interviews of like this and that. It's just like more or less like the sheer energy, kind of like the fact that, look, most people don't know that there's stingless bees. Most people don't know that stingless bees, they only live around the equatorial belt in the tropics. And that's the great thing, I think, for future marketing purposes, Gun, is the fact that you cannot produce a stingless honeybee in Europe. Otherwise they would have done that long time ago. So they depend very much on countries like Malaysia and Indonesia and Tanzania to produce this amazing product, and then have it verified with the codex, so that there's not going to be any like fraudulent activities, and we can sell, or like you individually, that has nothing to do with me. I'm not a salesperson. That I feel that if we create the right framework, the right verification process, the right, like supply chain. A friend of mine works at the university in Zurich, Switzerland, which is like probably like the 5th or 6th most amazing university in the world. And I approached them recently and says, like, how could we bring artificial intelligence, like the whole AI angle into supply chain and verification, all of that. That could help tremendously, and that could help also with funding and getting financial support and investment in some of these initiatives to to not only. I think when I'm listening to you guys, I feel that you're telling me that there could be a huge potential for stingless bee production. You have the space, you have the people, but there's like certain things missing in terms of education and scaling and money and support and all of that. And I think while all of this happening, we need to line up the possibilities that we can test your honey in a laboratory in Brussels or in Zurich or like in New York, wherever, that like independent verification channels like come all to the same conclusion and verify stingless bee honey for what it really is. So there's like a lot of things which need to be worked on at the same time. And I think once we start the conversation, once we make people sensitive that there is this possibility, like of scaling and education, because I really think that with all my understanding about the bioeconomy, like especially like in the Amazon, there's no product which comes even close to stingless bee honey. The impact it has in livelihood, in the environment, in people, and I think that is something we really need to hit home, tell the people over and over again, because I don't think people understand that, like the scale of the impact we have. And I think so that is where I want to make a big dent, so to speak, because then everything else, if we want to open the gates to money, to academia, to the governments, to verification and a stingless bee codex, then I think the second part is going to be much more easier. If these mechanisms allow us to get funding, like hundreds of thousands of dollars for whatever it needs to be, then you have the place, you have the climate, you have the people. You just need to get the regulations and everything done so that the people can get educated the proper way. And I think we definitely want to keep universities in Indonesia and academia and science very, very close to our hearts.
Yes, right.
They have to be very, very involved in what you do on a local and national level. And that is also something I believe in. To me, science is everything. Like science to me is God. So like in just about everything. And right now, living right now living in the United States, where we have a president who doesn't believe in climate change, who a president who doesn't believe in science. That is very, like I'm a journalist, and according to my president,
Okay.
I'm the enemy of the state now because I'm fake news and all of that. So I believe now more than ever we need to push science and academia, because like they could really help us make a lot of things very easy in your industry.
That's right. Okay, thank you. You can guidance me sending with the email, and maybe
I will do that later on. Yeah. Do you have somebody in mind, like a beautiful young family with beehives and stuff, something which is very representative of like Indonesia? Do you know of somebody?
Maybe we can go to Nusa Tenggara Barat. That's maybe a represent of your need. There's the villagers, maybe the young people and the women and the children can have the Melipona there, and maybe telling what the beginning of they in touch with the Melipona and having the benefit from cultivating of stingless bees. Because
That sounds very good.
the education before, when they have no stingless bees, no children is going to universities. But after that, 1 year to 5 years later, some student can go to universities, and it is the question: how now the student in universities from the villages, because we have the money selling from the Melipona honey. That's very fantastic.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, can you imagine if one day you can charge 4 or 5 times the price you're charging today because you have a codex, you have verification, you have like a national distribution center, and like people, the media, and everybody embraces what you produce, and you scale it like in a very circular kind of like a mindful kind of way. I mean, it is an amazing product, And
Yeah,
I
that's
think like I have a friend in a young farmer. He's like a crazy guy. He's in the Philippines. His name is Mac from the Los Pepes farm, and he's producing a propolis lip balm,
okay.
and he's producing propolis furniture polish and crazy stuff. If we're able to certify and verify these products, soaps and perfumes and everything, with serum and propolis and the things, the byproducts of the stingless bee production. There's a huge market out there. There's a huge health market out there. Like people want to live healthier, and they spend the money to buy the good products if they know that they're verified, if they know that they're not fraud, like if there's a certification process in place. And that I think is something which I don't know about Indonesia, but in most places right now, that verification process is totally absent, so like people suffer a little bit from having that like shady reputation about their product, and that needs to change.
Yeah, yes, I agree with this one. Maybe Nusa Tenggara Barat is the West Nusa Tenggara. It is a Mataram in the Lombok Island. Maybe we can reach the people there and discussing how to provide the video that you need to put together with others to show in what video when you said Melipona world.
Melipona world, yeah. Which language, which language is spoken in Indonesia? Like the people you communicate with, what kind of language do you speak? Because I can translate the instruction into any language, literally, with artificial intelligence now.
I'm not sure from the West Nusa Tenggara, and very common is Indonesian language, bahasa Indonesia, but I'm not sure after that the villagers can speak fluently in bahasa Indonesia or in a local language. I have to ask the people there.
Okay. All right. Well, I send you the email later on tonight.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
then please get back to me quickly and tell me if you need further information or if that would help. Because like the thing is, in order for this video to work, there is a certain guideline, you know, like how you have to hold the phone and what to do, you know, with the footage, because otherwise you get too many different creative approaches and then it's very difficult to post-produce the video. So there's like a kind of like a formula of how people in Peru and in Tanzania and in Thailand are going to do this,
Yeah, right.
so that ultimately we can all make sense of the whole product.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Can I share our discussion here to our colleagues?
please, absolutely. Yeah. Do you have a do you have a video you can share with me too, or because I would like to get a transcript of all the amazing things you guys said and taught me. So
You can
if you
access
can
also in my in our official YouTube Asosiasi Perlebahan Indonesia, API Indonesia. I can send the link.
Oh, you're gonna put this on YouTube. Fantastic.
Yes, right.
That's great. Yeah. Cool. All right.
Because we want to have, we don't want to monopolize the information.
That is the thing. What is very important. That's why I believe that we need to be, for the time being. I think there's going to be in the years to come, there's a lot of like commercial business applications growing out of Melipona world, but like right now the foundation of our organization is non-profit, you know.
Yes,
so
right.
like everything I do, everybody needs to know, otherwise we defeat the purpose. We need to be very open source about everything.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
There's no secrets, you know. There's no secrets, no magic.
Yes, right.
It's just hard work and knowledge, you
Yes,
know.
right.
And then we make the world a better place.
I'm already feel it that one for our association also non-profit organization.
Yeah.
Pak Kun
Wonderful talking to you.
Pak Kun
I'm
says
sorry?
something. Pak Kun say something
Enough,
for
Pak Didik.
enough. Okay.
I think appreciate for this work.
Enough.
Yeah.
We talked enough for the moment. I have to go and have a glass of tea. My whole throat is scratchy from all the talking.
Thank you very much, Thomas. See you next time.
Thank you so much, you guys. Appreciate it. This is the beginning of something very wonderful and special. Thank you for being part of it.
We can leave today